Hello, 1B students. So I just finished our first advice hour appointment, and I was going to post that in the announcements, but I figured it's 2 hours long, and so it'd be kind of hard to find things on there. So what I'm going to do is just kind of crystallize what we talked about in that meeting. Various students sort of showed up throughout the time that we had for advice hours. But first things first, I want to talk about the survey. I sent out a survey earlier polling you to ask, what works best for advice hours. And those just kind of split between Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. What I'm going to try to do is take the top three answers and then use those for advice hours to catch as many people as I can for those advice hours and adapt accordingly according to your schedules. So that's one thing. The next thing is, and this came up in conversation in the advice hours, is the due dates for our work. And so for the major essays, essay 1, 2, 3, and 4, there are different due dates depending on the section. And so I want to make it really clear what those due dates are and why I'm doing this. And so if you'll notice week 4 here, if you're in section 14087 or 14093, you're in group A. And so for week 4, we'll be having conferences for essay 1. So you'll be doing the same coursework, but we'll also be scheduling conferences where you meet with me one-on-one to talk about your papers. And I'll send out a link later on, probably in week 3, for you to sign up for those conferences if you're in Group A. If you're in Group B, your essays due that week. So if you're in sections 14126 and 14297, your essay will be due that week. Now, if you're in Group B and you're thinking, that's not fair, we have to turn in our paper before the other group. You're right, it isn't fair to begin with, but we flip it. So for the second paper, those in Group A will be turning their papers in first, and then those in Group B will be conferencing. So we're going to switch off back and forth so that it is fair. The reason why I'm doing this is because I have 4 sections of 1B. 30 people, 30 students in each section. If I'm doing my math correctly, that's 120 students. I don't want 120 papers coming at me all at once, okay? And you don't either. And the reason why I'm doing this is mainly for that latter reason. You don't want me grading 120 papers all at once, because what that's going to mean is the quality of that feedback is going to suffer. There's no way around that. I'm human. I can't help the fact that I only have a certain amount of energy and a certain amount of time in the day, right? So I offset those due dates for that very reason, so that I can give the best quality feedback and the best quantity of feedback on each of your papers. Okay, I don't want that to suffer. Okay, so but also. Those conferences allow me to talk to you individually about your papers, right? And so you get that individualized, specialized attention for about 10 minutes where I look and focus in on specific concerns that you have about your papers, okay? So anyway, that's what I wanted to really talk about in terms of the due dates for papers. Reading through your discussion boards and taking a look at your photos is incredible, by the way. I really have been enjoying that, and thank you for sharing your photos and your stories. They have all been very fascinating and interesting, and some heartbreaking, and I really feel for some of your posts. But thank you for being so honest and sharing your lives with each other and with me. I really do appreciate it. The first discussion board post is not worth any points because I want us to sort of gently work into the semester. I don't want anything due with points right away because I know we're just kind of getting familiar with Canvas and how this all operates, and so that's why there's no point attachment to it, neither for the one-page paper either. There was some discrepancy with the one-page paper too. It should be double spaced. Okay, so Times New Roman double spaced. I think I said single spaced somewhere. I'm sorry about that if there was an area of confusion. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them in the Q&A forum and in my email. Please use both. I noticed that not a lot of people are posting in the Q&A forum yet. Please do that so everybody can see your question. Think of it like, raising your hand in class. Everybody can hear your question and then hear my answer, right? So, and then kind of chime in with their own answers as well. So please use that Q&A discussion forum as much as you can. Trying to think of other things that I wanted to mention. The book, Symptoms of Being Human. You can purchase that wherever it is sold, right? So you could buy it as an ebook and do that. You could, buy it as a hard copy and use that and annotate. That's okay. Anywhere you can find that book, and the annotations themselves. All I'm looking for really is that you are, reacting to the text, actively reading, asking questions, these sorts of things as you read. As long as I can tell you're actively reading the text, that's what I'm looking for. As far as communication goes for this class, when I read your discussion board posts, I will not be sort of responding to everybody's discussion board post. I've done that in the past, and it's very time consuming. I find myself repeating myself quite a lot. And so what I do instead is read through your discussion boards, both your post and your responses to your peers. And then after the due date for your responses to your fellow peers, what I do is send out an announcement, sort of summarizing my reaction to those discussion board posts, kind of pointing out areas that could be improved, and then sort of by and large talking about the sort of overall reaction that I had to reading through those discussion board posts and grading those. Okay, so when I grade them, I will be using a rubric. And then after I grade them, I will send out the announcement that says, I felt like you answered this very well in these ways. Here are some things that you could improve on for next time. And then I might give some examples, some shout outs to folks who did an exceptionally good job in the discussion board posts. Maybe quote them and give them a shout out by name, right? Just to say, hey, thanks, Scott. That was a really good post. Give some kudos where it's due. Okay, so anyway, I hope that the first day wasn't too much of a hiccup. I know that Canvas is up and running now. If you go through the direct link through canvas.chaffey.edu, that works very well. The portal seems to be having some issues still, but I think those will be worked out pretty quickly here. But by and large, I think we're off to a good start here. I can tell already that it's going to be a really great semester, so thank you for all of your participation, especially I think in that getting to know you exercise, and then in the brainstorming for essay 1 too. I think all of your ideas are very good starts. So I think we're off to an excellent start here, and it's because of your participation and enthusiasm, and I really appreciate it. So again, if you have any questions, Q&A forum, email me. I also wanted to mention, and this came up in our advice hours as well, whenever you have a rough draft going of anything, if it's a rough draft of a proposal, if it's a rough draft of the paper, I would be happy to take a look at it and give you feedback. Okay, so please let me into the writing process as well. I've had students before send me 6, 7, 8 drafts of their essay, and I enjoy that because it allows me to give feedback, criticism that might be helpful for you for your papers. So please just send it to my email as an attachment, even if you think it's like just a page and a half or 2 pages long or something. if you get stuck, especially something like that, or there's a specific thing that you want me to look at, or even if you just want to say, hey, I've got 2 pages written, can you give me some feedback on what I have so far and give me some ideas? I'd be glad to. Okay, so please take advantage of that. Other than that, have a great night. I look forward to seeing your polls on the survey as far as what times work best for you, and then we'll adjust accordingly. Okay. Until then, I'll see you when I see you online. Okay.